And welcome back, everyone, to Speed Round 14, the end of the week of Who Would Win that just got extended out into half the week, and the end of January leading us into the new February. So, let's just get into it. Starting us off, we got from, where are you there? Ken Lindgren, again, just had your birthday one last week. I believe that's you who asked. Who would win in an air-to-air fight? Wedge Antilles versus Maverick. I believe it's Pete something Maverick. I think that's his name. In their respective aircraft. Now, I know probably where the idea is coming from that Maverick could theoretically win. It's not the plane, it's the fighter. It's not the plane, it's the pilot. And in a world of realism, that could be true. But when you compare F-18s or whatever, our greatest type of technology for aircraft and fighter crafts versus light speed, energy shield, laser firing vehicles. I'm sorry, that Maverick got to get his ass handed to him in that fight. Sorry if you were hoping that it'd be something more impressive, but no, Maverick would be getting his ass handed to him in that fight. It doesn't matter even if the missile theoretically hit the X-Wing. The X-Wings are designed to take at least some level of damage from other craft in their universe. So other laser-powered weapons. Now, granted, you hit them enough, they're going to blow up, obviously. But still, they do have shields on them. And even so, Mavericks... The X-Wing can move far faster than any missile Maverick could fire at it. Easily outmaneuver it. Then the X-Wing is just also going to be able to just completely neg off like machine gun fire. And, when you factor in actual targeting computers, all that, it's just Wedge might not be the better pilot per se, but he's certainly got the better plane or the better vehicle by a large mile. So in that regard, Wedge is going to win that fight, in my opinion. This one I did want to save for later, but because it's the one I'm probably going to be talking the most about. Captain America, and I'm not talking about the MCU Captain America, I'm just talking, or the TV show Homelander. These are the images I had. Captain America versus Homelander. Who would win the fight? So initially, I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. It's going to be Homelander. Bar none, end of story. But Cap is superhuman to levels. He's peak human, but he's peak human to the point where he is superhuman. His shield is, in the comics, made of vibranium iron mix, which is even tougher than adamantium. I believe that's what it's mixed with. Anywho, and mix. He's been around for a long time, got lots of experience, and a skilled fighter, tactician, all that. But even with all that, and he's fought individuals far stronger than Homelander and come out alive. But that's usually because he has help. He had no problem staring at Thanos in the face in the comics, but he still couldn't beat Thanos outright. There was no way he was beating Thanos. Good baby, yes. Give your belly a scratch. He's a good baby. There was no way he was outright beating Thanos in that fight. Hell, even if we're going by the MCU logic where we kind of but nerfed the characters power-wise to a certain degree, Loki just took the shot to the face without really any difficulty. His shield is the only thing he really has over Homelander, because there's no way Homelander has the strength to destroy that shield. That shield is too strong for Homelander to deal with. So, is there an avenue that Captain America could win? And his shield can absorb vibration and impact, so any impact Homelander hits him with isn't going to do much. Actually, he could just theoretically tear the shield off his arm, probably with his arm with it, and then just roast him or boom, put his arm through him. Because unfortunately, Captain America, as strong as he is, still is not Homelander tier strength or durability. He's just not. Homelander is stated to be powerful enough to survive a nuke, or at least it would take something like a hydrogen bomb to kill him, in theory. But theoretically, if Cap puts his shield up and angles the heat blast just enough to actually hit Homelander, and then he capitalizes on that and aims for where Homelander has been hurt, and starts bashing him with the shield, which is indestructible and with an edge, might actually be able to hurt Homelander. Maybe, but assuming Homelander isn't just completely knocked out, stupefied, whatever, from getting hit by his own attack, Homelander's just going to come and tear Steve apart, ultimately. Homelander is a big fish in a small pond. The problem is Steve is a smaller fish than him. So, yeah, I would, unfortunately, for people who are working for Cap, go Homelander in that. Oh, that request, by the way, came to us from Rainbow Prism. I believe that's it. I believe that's who that was. So, coming up next, we've got from Jeff the Killer, Ghost Rider versus Jason Voorhees. This is pretty obvious. Jason has absolutely nothing that can do anything to Ghost Rider. Like, legitimately, he can't. Let me put it this way. Yeah, he could stab Ghost Rider. He could punch him. Ghost Rider is then going to be like, okay, Hellfire, Penance Stare. Does Jason have his soul? That's a question. So could the Penance Stare not work on him? It depends on the canon. Jason is either human, a demon, a deadite, or just some sort of revenant. Does he have his soul? That's a legit question. Someone like Michael Myers, we know, actually probably doesn't have his soul. Like, his soul is just MIA in there. At least if you're going with, say, like the Cult of Thorns stuff. But Jason, I don't know if the Penance Stare would work, because I don't know if his soul's still there, given all these stuff that's gone on with him. Now, someone did say, well, it's like, you can't debunk his teleportation. There's so much evidence for it. And they did the whole Jason Takes Manhattan, teleporting between each room, beating that guy on the boat. My answer to that is, I can debunk. If I think I can debunk it, I'll debunk whatever I want. And all of those have explanations. Again, I try not to quote Death Battle too much, but in their Jason versus Michael video, Wiz actually properly explained both those events off, where that was just drug-fueled panic from that girl, where she's trying to disappear and it just reappears. In the scene where he beats the guy to the other side of the boat, Jason is actually very athletic, so it's actually very likely he could have just made it there before the guy. Now, your argument against my argument there would be, yeah, they also said that they also didn't have an explanation for Jason X where everyone shot him and he disappeared. To which my answer to that is, I'm sorry, did you see the level of smoke that was going on through there? They literally shot him, he fell to the ground, there was a layer of smoke, and he basically just got away in the smoke. I don't know how someone cannot explain that off. But even if Jason can teleport, and I don't believe he personally can, but even if he can, doesn't freaking matter. He still can't hurt Ghost Rider. He has nothing that actually can damage Ghost Rider to a degree that would be problematic for Ghost Rider. He's got no holy weapons. He is not the level of power that would be designed to take down Ghost Rider at all. And Ghost Rider at any point can either eat his soul. If he doesn't have his soul, he can just burn him with hellfire and burn him to ashes. So, yeah, Ghost Rider completely caps Jason. So, coming up, we got Pennywise versus Leatherface from Dylan H. And what was the other one? Something Book? The Book? I can't remember what the other one was. Dylan H. and, Mr. Ghost something, Tia Book or something like that? I can't actually remember who that name was. I didn't write it down as effectively as I could have. Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue that Pennywise is going to murder Leatherface. First off, he feeds off fear and gets stronger from that. He likes to make us scared because he makes us taste better. He calls it salting the meat. So, yeah, and Leatherface, for all of his, it's only like really recently, and like the most recent Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came up on Netflix that we watched, and we're like, oh god, it's only recently where you can make the vaguest of arguments that Leatherface could have some supernatural elements given what he survived. So, in that, I'm like, what? Okay, fine, whatever. That being said, what he survived really wasn't all that supernaturally inclined. All things let me rephrase that. It wasn't something that would take supernatural powers to survive. That being said, Leatherface is still going to he's still just a guy. He's also a guy with mental illness or mental disability. And so he's a bit more like simplistic. He's kind of like a giant child in many ways. And therefore, he's probably going to be a lot more frightened of Pennywise after Pennywise starts to screw with him. And Pennywise will just kill his ass, ultimately. So yeah, Pennywise wins that fight. Agent 47 versus Deathstroke, which comes to us from, I believe it's Daniel R. Yeah, as skilled as Agent 47 is, Deathstroke's got it better as just armed to the teeth, better weaponry, honestly, more skilled overall. The man's been around for decades. Trained martial artist, easily can go to toe with the best, including Batman. Like I said, armed to the teeth with weaponry, firearms, guns, grenades, you name it, swords, regenerative healing factor, and can use and can perceive see faster is the term, but his brain can process information faster. Hitman Agent 47 is a skilled individual and actually does have obsessive abilities himself, but tangling with someone like Deathstroke would be a death sentence to him. This would not be a fight he'd want to get into because it's a pretty much anything you can do, I can do better scenario. So yeah, Deathstroke would win that fight without too much difficulty. And last but not least, we have from Daniel Bipat, The Rock's version of Hercules versus Moana, a rock-off, if you will. Unfortunately, this is where supernatural fun gets to take hold. Maui is, in fact, supernatural. It does have physical strength much greater than the average man. Like, he can lift a boat with one arm, has a fish hook that lets him transform, and can smash a lava witch, which we know is Tafiti. You can smash it by channeling his magical power in there. His demigod-like powers in there. Add in shape-shifting, he's very, very powerful. While Hercules in this movie is strong and far stronger than a regular man, this version of Hercules is played up more for the realistic, on the realistic side. It is, there's like a real world explanation for everything he went up against in that movie. And so the supernatural elements aren't supernatural anymore. They're not divine. They're now explained away. Even with a more physically enhanced individual like during The Rock Johnson, who can still pull off amazing feats of strength for a human, he still falls short of Maui by a lot. Like, Maui could probably easily take him down, no issue at all. So, in that regard, I would go Maui. Maui. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks for watching, though. Hope you enjoyed. Join us again for the next speed round. I'm not this one, but I'm thinking of doing something new for the channel. Not quite new, but we're closing in on 12,000 subscribers. And upon that 12,000, I'm going to do another Q&A. I was saving it for 15, but we slowed down a lot in subscribers. So I'm like, you know what, doing every 1,000 sounds fine. But I'm thinking, actually, you know what, no, why not just do a monthly Q&A? Why not do that? Because I did like doing the Q&As when we did them. So yeah, once we hit 12,000, or maybe even starting at the end of next month, I'll start doing monthly Q&As. I think I'm going to start doing that. Anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks later. Have a good one.